everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Ian Pruckner. I'm a Senior National Sales Director and the leader of one of the most explosive and electrifying groups in the entire financial services industry. And I just want to congratulate you on an incredible choice that you've made to get started in our business. And you're probably here for a couple of different reasons. Maybe you're looking for a part-time income. Maybe you're looking for a full-time income, a career change. Maybe you're looking to start and own your own business. For whatever the reason that brought you here, I want to say welcome, and you are at the right place at the right time with the right group of people. You are going to learn so much about money and finance. You're going to learn some of the greatest skills you're ever going to be able to learn, and you're going to be able to use them in so many areas of your life. You're going to build so many incredible relationships. You're going to help so many people, and you're going to be able to help you and your family create financial independence through a residual, recurring income stream that you own, that nobody can take from you. I just want to welcome you again and tell you what an incredible decision you've made. It wasn't very long ago that I was in your position, brand new in the business, just starting out, and 13 years have passed. Where's the time gone? But it's been unbelievable. I have never worked a day in the 13 years that I've been doing this. What we do is so full of purpose. It's so good. It's so needed out there. What we stand for as a company is absolutely unbelievable. We do what's right 100% of the time. We stand behind what we do. We stand behind our people, and we believe everybody deserves a chance to do something special with their life. And man, I'm so excited that you've joined us today. We're going to be talking through some information that I just love to share with all of our new people to help you get started right, to help you get started strong, and to help you to achieve your goals, your dreams, your vision effectively and efficiently along the path. And so I'm super excited about that. I'm going to just tell you a little bit of our story and a little bit of the mindset, about why this business, what do you really have your hands on here? For me, I didn't really totally get it for a period of time, but once I got it, it was like I had found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I want to make sure you really understand what you have your hands on here, the impact and the change that it can make in your life like it's made in mine. And then I'm going to give you the 3 tips to starting strong. The 3 tips to starting strong, the 3 things you need to be doing as a brand new person to get major traction, be making major income, and changing your life in a big way. So, listen, 13 plus years ago now, I started on this incredible journey. I was a worship pastor at a local church. I ran bands for a living. I knew nothing about money, nothing about finance, nothing about sales or business, but I knew that I was broke. I was tired of too much month at the end of the money, and somebody referred me to a guy who went to my church who'd been very successful doing this. And he actually said, Ian, there's this guy that goes here, he does this thing, that's what he called it. He says he does this thing and you'd be good at it. You should go talk to him. And I thought, what do I have to lose? And so 13 years ago, I started on this journey, just spare time to make a little bit of extra money. And you might be here for one of a couple of reasons. You might be here for a part-time income. That's why I joined. I just needed to make a little bit of extra money. I loved what I did. It really wasn't work to me. It was a lot of fun. I just needed to do better economically. And this looked like an opportunity where I could make a large amount of income in a small amount of time relative to a normal job. I wouldn't be trading time for money, and that I could create a residual income. And so if that's you and you're here for a part-time income, folks, you have found by far and away, hands down, the greatest part-time residual income opportunity anywhere in American business. The second reason you might be here is you might be looking for a full-time career change. You might be wanting to maybe transition out of what you're doing or create a business that you could own and a substantial recurring residual income. That wasn't why I joined, but that was what happened as I learned more about the business, began to understand the potential that I had here in this business. And so if that's why you're here, you're at the right place at the right time. So 13 years ago, I'm a worship leader at a church. I start on the side. I start learning the system with a mentor and a process that took somebody who knew nothing about any of this stuff, no experience, and taught me spare time, on my own, no minimums, no quotas. And actually now today, this wasn't this way when I started, but you can actually learn the business completely online from the comfort of your home. You can run every appointment, come to every training, not in person, but online. That's an absolutely unbelievable advantage to what I had 13 years ago when we started. So we started Spare Time. I made about $1,000 a month my first couple of months, and to me that was huge money. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. We were making $27,000 a year at our job, and so $1,000 a month part-time to me was huge money. We were making part-time income through a series of different things at my job. I ended up deciding that I was going to go full-time. 8 months in, I was making $10,000 plus a month in the business. Quit my job at the church, stayed on staff for a couple of years free of charge, but I went after this hard. And guys, listen, 5 years in, we were partially retired, living in Florida in the winter times, taking 3, 4, and 5 months off on vacation every year. It was absolutely incredible. 9 years in, guys, our income had exceeded $1 million a year in residual recurring income. We were taking half of the year off on vacation, living an absolute dream life. And I mean, it's an absolutely incredible opportunity that you have your hands on if you're willing to put in the time and effort and energy that it takes to learn the business. That's what I'm going to share with you today. And I just want you to understand the moment that you're a part of. I believe there's never been a time like now to get involved in our business and to thrive. What took me 9 years, I believe people are going to do in 2 and 3 years in this economy, in this market, and in this system that we have now, all online from the comfort of their home. People can get started, they can study their licensing, they can be trained, they can come to meetings and training meetings, they can run their client and recruiting appointments completely online. Folks, we didn't have that, and the need in the economy is absolutely unprecedented right now. The markets are very turbulent, people are concerned about their finances, their jobs are getting downsized, people are getting laid off, they're being told, go home and don't come back till we know what's happening here. And people's incomes are in jeopardy, and what's happening is their group benefits, their group life insurance, their 401k plans are in jeopardy, and people are going to be moving out into the marketplace in mass right now. And folks, we don't wish that on anybody, but we're definitely going to be there to serve those people, to be the voice of reason, to be the voice of calm and confidence, and to help people to take care of their families and those really, really important and pressing things that they're having to do now on their own. The second thing that's happening is a whole lot of people who thought, I'm good at my job, I'm not really interested in anything, I'm doing pretty well. A whole bunch of people by the tens and millions have had a wake-up call. And everybody right now is thinking, how do I work from home and how do I work online? And this is an unprecedented opportunity to start in the financial services industry, a recession-proof industry, to start in the industry from home on your own time, do everything online. Even building the business never happened before. And so that is just absolutely incredible, the opportunity that we have. And so I want you to think about what's going on out there. People right now, I want you to think 50 years ago. It was totally normal 50 years ago in America for a married couple to have one spouse at work, one spouse at home with the kids, and to be able to afford everything just fine. They had a house, a couple of cars, saved money, no big deal. Everything was great. 20 and 30 years ago, that went from one spouse working to afford everything just fine to both spouses working. Now, both spouses have the job, but they still afford everything just fine. Fast forward to 2020 and beyond today, it's not that way, right? Okay, both spouses are working 2 jobs and not affording everything just fine. And people are stressed out, and they're stressed out because they're playing the wrong game. They're playing the wrong game. I don't know if you've ever heard this statement before, but I was told you got to go to school, get good grades, get into a good college so that you can go and graduate and get a good job, right? And that job was supposed to take care of you. You could work there for 30 or 40 years and everything would be just fine. But today, folks, that just doesn't work anymore. That might have worked in the past, but the days of the job economy are gone, and the days of the value and solution and influence economy are here. You no longer can be okay trading time for money, showing up at a job, putting in your time, and getting compensated for your time. See, when you trade time for money, you're always going to be short of one of the two, right? You're either going to have a lot of time, but no money, or you might have a really high paying job, a doctor, a dentist, an attorney, an executive, and you're making plenty of money, but you don't have any time. Because at a job with high income comes high responsibility. So when we trade time for money, we're always short of one or the other. And so we're playing in this game and we're doing everything right. You've probably done everything right in life, but you're not getting the right results. You have too little time, too little money, and a lot of financial stress. And if that's you, you are at the right place at the right time with the right opportunity to change that fundamentally forever. And the key is this, okay? The reason people are stressed and losing the money game out there is because they're trying to win a basketball game playing on a soccer field. You say, Ian, what do you mean by that? Here's what I mean by that, okay? Stop and think about this. Everybody in America has residual bills right now. Everybody in America has residual bills, right? And so what's happening is this. We have residual bills. Your phone bill's coming next month whether you want it to or not, right? Okay, your mortgage or your rent payment, your car payment, that's coming next month whether you want it to or not. Whether you're even there, you might take a vacation for a month, but that doesn't stop the rent payment from being due. We have residual expenses, or in other words, expenses that require nothing of us to be incurred. They're coming next month with no effort on our part. So we have residual expenses, but we have earned income. We have earned income. What that means is we've got to go in and trade time for money, right? If we don't put the time in at the job, we don't get the money any longer, right? Does that make sense to you? And so what's happening is we're on the hamster wheel of life, right? With residual bills coming every month, month after month, don't require anything of us. And we got to get on that hamster wheel. We got to start running. We got to go to work to keep up with those bills. And the moment we get off the hamster wheel, the whole house of cards crumbles, right? And so we're really playing in a game that you're not designed to win. You might do everything right, get a great job with a reputable company, but you're still earning linear income trying to keep up with residual bills. What's the solution? The solution is to create a residual recurring income that is at least the same or in excess of your residual recurring bills. When your residual income gets larger than your residual bills, you are financially independent. You are financially free. Imagine you could make what you're making now, but you didn't have to spend all the time to go get it. That's the sort of opportunity we're talking about right now. I want to illustrate that with a story that I love to tell people. And that story starts out on the other side of the world, in another hemisphere, early in the morning, in two grass huts in a remote village. Two little boys wake up, as they do every single morning, and they grab their family bucket before dawn, and they begin to head out on a 3-mile trek to the town well. And every single morning, those little boys grab that bucket and they make the 3-mile trip there and the 3-mile trip back. And they go to the town well with the family's bucket and they begin to pump the water. They fill that bucket full of water and they make the 3-mile trek back into the town, into the village where they live, into their huts. And for that day, that family now has every ounce of water that's going to have. That's their cooking, that's their cleaning, it's their drinking, it's their sanitation, it's their lifeblood in that village. If they run out of water today, they get two choices. Send somebody back with the bucket again or wait till tomorrow. And every single day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, generation after generation, somebody in that family has been picking up the bucket, toting it to the well, and filling it with water. And so they do this day after day, year after year. One of the little boys wakes up one day with an idea and he says, I've got an idea that might change our family's life forever. And so he decides that he's gonna leave 20 minutes earlier than the other little boy. And every day he leaves 20 minutes earlier on his journey to the well. He brings with him some bamboo, some twine, and every single day he begins to work on a primitive pipeline, piece by piece, foot by foot, day after day, month after month. Well, 2 years goes by, and the little boy leaves one final time with his bucket and his bamboo, and he puts on the final piece of the pipeline. And he has built something now stretching all the way from the front door of his family's grass hut, all the way 3 miles to the town well. And he turns on the spigot one final time, and 3 miles away at the front door of his family's grass hut, running water begins to flow. They don't know what to do. They've never seen so much water. They're trying to stop it. It's beginning to flood into their grass hut. They have created a pipeline system. And for the rest of that little boy's life, he'll never have to make another trip to the well. He'll never have to carry the bucket again. He put down his bucket and he picked up his pipeline and created a recurring flow of water, more than they could ever want or need, and stopped that family from having to do that over and over and over again like they've been doing for generations. Now, in America, we're not dealing with pipelines. Our pipeline is not water. Our pipeline is money, right? And so every day, day after day, week after week, most of us, we pick up our buckets and we leave our families home and we drive not to the town well, but to our job. And every Friday, the job fills that bucket with not water, but what? With money. And that money, just like the water for that family on the other side of the world, is our family's livelihood. It's what sustains us. It's what keeps us going. And if we run out of money in that bucket, we have two choices. Pick up another bucket and go get more, or do without until we make the next trip. And most of us live our entire lives picking up buckets and filling up money and bringing them home to our family. The problem with that is if we lay the bucket down, no money for the family. We take a vacation, what's waiting for us when we get home? It's the bucket. We get sick, we get hurt. The bucket doesn't care, it's still there and needs to be carried. And so sooner or later, we wise up and say, there's got to be a better way. I don't want to carry a bucket for the rest of my life. When I'm too old to carry the bucket, my kids will carry the bucket. Their kids will carry the bucket, and we'll always be one bucket away from total disaster. Folks, this is an opportunity for you to set down the bucket in life and for you to build a pipeline of residual, recurring income that you can't shut off even if you wanted to shut it off. And so guys, listen, you got to understand what you got your hands on here. This is going to be the most life-changing opportunity you will ever see. You will ever see or be a part of. And I hope and pray that you come with us along that journey, man. You're going to learn so much. You're going to have so much fun helping people, developing new skills, building great teams. You're going to build some of the greatest relationships that you've ever built in your life, and you're going to make a huge difference, not just in the lives of the clients that you help, but in the lives of the teammates that you help to build residual income pipelines. You get them to set down the bucket lifestyle for a residual, recurring, around the world, incredible sort of life. And man, I want to invite you on that journey. So we're going to talk about the 3 points to starting strong. The 3 points of starting strong. These are 3 things that I like to take all my new people through. And I want you to kind of think of them like a 3-legged stool, okay? Think about them like a 3-legged stool. If you have a stool with 3 legs, that stool will balance, right, okay? If you have a stool with only 2 legs, what's gonna happen to your stool? It's just gonna fall over, right, okay? So there's 3 things in the beginning that we wanna be doing simultaneously, that if we do these together, you're gonna think like, wow, this business is easy, it's a lot of fun, it's exciting, I'm making money, I'm getting traction, I see how this is gonna work, right? If you do those 3 things together, it's gonna work absolutely unbelievably. If you pick and choose and you just do kind of 1 or 2 of them, what's gonna happen to that 3-legged stool? It's gonna tip over, right? It's not gonna work as well as you want it to work, okay? So it's ultra imperative that we do these 3 things together. The great news is that you can not only do these, you can master these 3 things in literally a few hours a week from the comfort of your home, completely online. Or if you're old school, you want to see people in person, you can do that too, okay? But the good news is you can do it part-time, spare time, even no time, and have great results. You just got to be doing the 3 things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is licensing, okay? You have to get licensed to be able to make money in our business. You can earn some money before you're licensed. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but it's released to you upon you getting your license. So we need you to have a license. It is ultra imperative that you get that license. So in virtually every state, here's how the licensing is going to work. It's a 1-day course, okay, 1-day crash course. It is available Thursdays and Fridays, every single Thursday, every single Friday, live on Zoom. You're going to log on to that and you're going to be going through the licensing, okay, online and in person in a Zoom class simultaneously. So you're going to be doing your online course through youcanpass.com. Okay, your orientation pack will have some of that information for you, and you're actually going to be being tutored by one of our licensing instructors through that process. So you're not going through it on your own, you're going through it with a teacher, but you're doing it in 6, 7, 8, or maybe 9 hours, right? Okay, listen, I had to go to a 20-hour class in person. Some states are 40-hour class. This is a 1-day, one-time class, and then you're done, okay? Once you're finished with the class, guys, listen, it's imperative that you set your licensing exam, for within 3 to 5 days, okay? 3 to 5 days to get into that licensing exam. Why? Here's why, because all the information is fresh. You're gonna learn a lot in a short period of time. You're gonna feel like, man, I just got way smarter, okay? But it's imperative that you get in there and that you test out prior to having a chance of losing some of that information, right? Maybe forgetting a little bit about that information. Okay, so we wanna test within 3 to 5 days. Now, here's what a lot of people say. They say, well, I wanna study a little bit first and then I'll schedule my exam. That's a mistake. That's definitely not what you want to do, and here's why. I want you to think about, schooling, for example. When you went to school, did they tell you, hey, study all the material and then call us and let us know when you feel like you're ready for the final exam? Is that what happened to you in school? Okay, of course not, right? Okay, you went there and the very first day on the syllabus, they gave you the date of the final exam. And so you geared your studying around knowing that that exam was happening then. And guess what? You graduated, you made it through, you're here alive and doing well, right, under that plan. Now, if they let you pick the date of your test based on when you think you would be ready, guys, listen, you and me both, we'd still be in kindergarten right now, just getting a little more prep for that test, right? Okay, so we're not gonna study and then schedule. We're gonna schedule and then study. And guys, listen, if for whatever reason you don't pass, no big deal at all. Guys, listen, we'll pay for you to take that test an unlimited amount of times, and you can take it, depending on the state that you're in, every 24 to 48 hours. Now listen, you're gonna pass time once, not gonna be a big deal. But if you don't, it's no big deal. You can get back in and do it again, okay? And listen, I would rather you fail that test 3 times and pass again the 4th time in 1 week than pass that thing first time 6 months from now, right? Because you've got 25 weeks head start. Even though you didn't pass it right away, you passed it earlier. And folks, listen, the test is not going to teach you the business. We're going to teach you the business. The test is what the state says you need to know to be eligible to earn a commission, right? So we want to go through that as quickly as we can and get you licensed, okay? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna get on that licensing class every Thursday, every Friday. You can register online. If you haven't already registered from class, you wanna text the person that brought you in and say, hey, get me registered for class ASAP, okay? Most of you watching this, you're already registered for class, okay? So we wanna make sure we get to the class, we stay the entire time, we finish the class, and we schedule the exam, okay? We're scheduling the exam at the end of the class for when? For 3 to 5 days out, right? We're gonna study and we're gonna take that thing and see what happens, okay? You're gonna be totally fine. All right, let's talk about leg number two on the stool. This is meetings and trainings, okay? Now listen, guys, this is where most people mess this up, so I'm gonna spend a little bit of extra time. This has also become easier and more convenient than it ever has been. So here's what's gonna happen. I want you to think about this. If you don't know what you're doing in our business, okay, how many clients are you likely to get not knowing what you're doing? And the answer is not many, right? So how much money are you gonna make in our business if you don't get any clients? The answer is 0, right? Okay, so we need to be trained so that we know what we're doing and we can get some results, right? Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's the other thing, okay? Really, really quickly, we're gonna have 5, 10, 15, or even 20 people on your team. Okay, we're gonna have a bunch of people on your team faster than you think. So if your people don't know what they're doing, how many clients are your people gonna get? And the answer is not many, right? So how much money are you and your people gonna make from that? And the answer is not much. Okay, so your people need to be trained. You need to be trained, your people need to be trained, and so we've got 2 ways of training people. Way 1 is we can train them individually just like this, okay? Person by person by person. So let's say we had 10 people, okay, 10 people that we wanted to provide 2 hours of training to weekly. Okay, well, if we did it 1 by 1 by 1, 2 hours for Jim, 2 hours for Mary, 2 hours for Susan, 2 hours for Tom, 10 people at 2 hours each a week is 20 hours a week. We're spending 20 hours a week training your 10 guys if we do it 1 by 1 by 1. The second option is we can provide 2 hours of training in a Zoom online webinar format, okay? And we can get all 10 of your people to plug into those 2 hours. And so if they're all 10 on those 2 trainings, how long does it take us to train those 10 people for 2 hours? And the answer is 2 hours. Now, what if you had 100 people? How long would it take you to train them? The answer is still what? 2 hours. What if you had 1,000 people? It would still only take 2 hours. So guys, listen, most people think about this wrong. They think, well, I don't get paid to come to these trainings. I'm busy. I'll figure it out. Folks, listen, that is just the wrong thought process there. If you don't plug into trainings, you're not going to learn what to do. You're not going to be very good. You're not going to make very much money. If you don't plug into trainings, the people you recruit are not going to plug into trainings. If they don't get trained, you're going to build a house of cards. You're going to put in some time and effort, but you're not going to get the results you want. Obviously, that's not what you want, right? You want to have great results. We want you to have great results. Listen, the more money you make, the bigger team you build, the better that is for everybody, right? So we don't want you to struggle. We want you to have great success. And so this is a pillar of having great success quickly in our business, and that is plugging into the trainings and plugging your people into the trainings. Okay, so we offer 2 hours a week of systematic online in-person training. Okay, so those times are as follows. Friday nights from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever other time zone you might be in. Okay, we have a 90-minute Friday night live. It happens on Zoom. Your leaders will give you the Zoom links. I'll talk to you about some of the technology in a minute, okay, and how to get on it. But there's a 90-minute training. Guys, listen, you watch from the comfort of your house. You could be at the gym listening on an earbud. I mean, you'd be doing a lot of stuff and still getting the full value being there on that training. That's Friday night live and Sunday night skills. Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern time, so 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, or whatever time zone you're in. 30 minutes of skill set training through a systematic class process that is proprietary to our organizations. One of the things that we're known for around the industry is our ability to train brand new people with little to no experience and get them making money, promoting, and building teams fast. Okay, so listen, we need to plug into this come heck or high water. Here's how I want you to think about this for a second, okay? Because listen, we're going to bend over backwards to help you. You are never going to find somebody as committed to your success as the person who brought you into this business. We're going to bend over backwards to help you, but I need you to understand this. Imagine, for example, you were in college and it was your final exam day and you're like, man, I'm a little behind. I need a little help. And you go knock on the professor's door, tick, 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 right? You say, Professor, listen, I don't know what I'm doing here. I need a little bit of help. Can you just give me a little bit of time and teach me some of this? And the professor looks at his attendance log and he sees that you skipped half the classes. You've skipped half the classes. You have no idea what's going on. He's never seen you before. What do you think that professor's going to say to you? He's going to say, you know what? You should have thought about that before you skipped half my classes. I can't help you. I'm really sorry. Best of luck on the test. Okay? Same situation. You need a little bit of help. It's the day of the exam. You knock on the professor's door. They open the door and they know your name. You sit in the front row, you ask questions, you come to study hall, you've never missed a class. Is that professor more or less likely to help you when you need help? And the answer is, of course, more likely. Okay, and folks, that's the exact same way that this is going to be here. When you log on to these trainings, you're going to see hundreds and thousands of people logged in, getting trained, learning our business process system, and training others and creating large residual recurring incomes. Now, when people need help, we've got to spend the time with people who are already plugging into the available trainings, right? The great news is, again, guys, listen, this is 2 hours a week. There are 168 hours in the week. This is 2. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it in the car. You can do it anywhere you want. It's never been easier to get online, get trained, get your people online and get trained. So here's the commitment I want you to make. Remember, these are 3 points for massive success. Okay, the second point after licensing is I want you to commit to being at every single Friday and every single Sunday training online for 6 months. For 6 months, okay? Here's why. After 6 months, you're gonna have learned enough of the business that you're gonna be pretty good at it, okay? And at that point, you can reevaluate. Maybe you're not building a big team, or maybe you just kind of want to do it super part-time. You're just going to do it here or there. You've got the knowledge you need to be successful. Hey, after 6 months, if you feel like that's all you want to do with it, God bless, and you're always welcome to come to the trainings, but I want you to view them as optional after that 6 months, okay? Here's the other reason, okay, is we're going to recruit some great people on your team, really great people pretty quickly. Now, if you're kind of lackadaisical about being at training, guess what's going to happen to your people, right? And so you're going to recruit some people who could have been really, really good at the business, but they never plug into the training system. because you never plugged into the training system. And what happens then is your guy doesn't get trained and he never learns the skills to be really great at the business. And what happens is he loses out big time, but so do you. So do you. Guys, listen, the guy who recruited me makes $800,000 a year in residual income from the business that we've built. That's a good recruit. Imagine you recruited somebody like that, but they never got good enough at the business to get traction because they were following your example and you didn't show them a great example. Guys, listen, you're gonna be a perfect example for the first 6 months. You're never gonna miss. You don't feel good, you're there. You're on vacation, you're there. Guys, listen, for 6 months, and we're gonna give our new people the very best example that we possibly can. Why? Because it puts them in a great place and it puts you in a great place to be able to create that large residual income. 6 months in, if you want to reevaluate that, no problem at all. Okay, but probably what's going to happen, guys, because you're following the system, is 6 months in, you got a big team, you're making a ton of money residually, you've got a big vision, and you're growing your own trainings, right? You're growing your own team attendance there, and you're even teaching some of those trainings. So that's the goal, but 6 months, we're gonna put that in. So I want you to put that in your schedule tonight, okay? Before you go to bed, I want you to lock that Friday night and that Sunday night live Zoom training schedule into your calendar and put it on repeat for the next 6 months, okay? The last thing that we're gonna talk about is what we call a fast start in field training. This is the third point to massive success starting out, okay? Field training is how you're gonna learn the business. That is you and I, or you and your leader, or you and one of the other trainers in our organization going out and seeing people, either in person or over Zoom, either is fine, and that's how you're gonna learn the business. Guys, listen, if you wanna be able to make a massive passive residual income, okay, like the size of the one that my wife and I have created and so many of the other leaders in our organization have created, that's gonna be dependent on how well you can teach other people to get the results that you're getting, okay? And so the best trainers, guys, are generally people who are best trained by a great trainer, right? So our goal is that we would see as many people together as possible in a very short amount of time, okay? And so guys, listen, in your first 30 days, and everybody watching this, you're in your first 30 days. In your first 30 days, guys, we offer what's called a Fast Start bonus program. And it consists of really two parts. Number one is some bonus cash that's only available to you your first 30 days in the business, okay? The second part that it consists of is easy pay grade promotion increases. And so we're gonna go through those in just a second. I need you to really pay attention to make sure that you understand this, not just for you, but so that you could communicate that to other people on your team, okay? So here's what we wanna see. So we're gonna go up and I want you to take a look at this compensation schedule you're gonna see, okay? And you're gonna see a number of contract levels, okay? So you, me, everybody, we all start as a rep. So what I'm gonna share with you is the promotion guidelines that you're gonna play on the entire rest of your career in our business, okay? Then what I'm gonna show you is the reduced promotion guidelines and the bonus cash that are both only available your first 30 days. So you can see what it's normally gonna take and then what it takes your first 30 days. And I think that you're gonna see there's a huge incentive and a huge reason for you to go out and for you to get some great training your first 30 days. Okay, so I want you to take a look at this. You, me, everybody, we all start at a position called representative. If you look over to the right, you see the contract percentage is 25%. Okay, what is that a percentage of? That's a percentage of a first year's premium on a life insurance policy. Why life insurance? Well, life insurance is the foundation of all financial planning. Okay, if you're alive tomorrow to make money, you could get a second job, you could take some money and invest it, you could pay off your debt, you're in control financially. If you're not alive tomorrow to make money and you had somebody depending on your income, the only thing those people have to navigate the entire rest of their financial future is that life insurance. Okay, so it needs to be done. It needs to be done right. Folks, it's the first license. It's an easy transaction. Everybody needs to have it, okay? So that 25%, that is a percentage of a first year's premium, okay? If you see in a little small print here, the average life insurance client with us is paying right around $83 a month for their life insurance. That's a husband, wife, kids, whole family. Okay, some people pay more, some people pay less, but that's the average. Okay, so the average policy is about $1,000 a year. So if you were at 25%, you would make 25% of that $1,000 premium one time, or about $250, right? Okay, for a half an hour's worth of work, that is not bad money, right? Okay, $250 for half an hour is pretty good money no matter what you're doing, and that's with you being the low person on the totem pole there, right? Okay, so if you take a look up the next level, senior rep, if you look over at the contract level, it's 35%, okay? So the average cash per deal now went from $250 to $350 for that same half an hour. What did you have to do to qualify for it? You see there's two qualifications. It says in 1 month, it shows you production requirements, and then it also shows you some of the ancillary requirements. In this case, you needed to come to a Friday Zoom and a Sunday Zoom, okay, and have attended your class, right? You see that, okay? And in 1 month, you and your team, you need to do 3 recruits and $3,000 in sales. If your average sales $1,000, that would be 3 recruits and 3 sales. And so then you would promote to 35%. If you look to 50%, what you would need to do in a month is what? 6 recruits and $6,000 in sales, and the other ancillary requirements, right? To be at 60%, it would take you what? 10 recruits, $10,000 in sales, and you'd be at 60%. If you were at 60%, okay, you would have $600 on average on the average deal, okay? So you could go all the way up to 80%. That's the highest part-time contract. There is a contract above that called Regional Vice President, and that is a full-time business owner's contract, and you can see exactly what you need to do to be able to get there, okay? But we're just gonna focus on the part-time contract in your first 30 days right now, okay? So I want you to take a look now in your first 30 days, okay? In your first 30 days, we make it substantially easier for you to get those first 5 pay grade promotions, substantially easier. And we put some bonus cash on the line for you that is only earnable your first 30 days in the business. So I want you to see, we all start again at 25%, okay? We all start at 25%, but to get to 35%, you see crossed out, it used to be 3 recruits, $3,000 in sales, but if you do it in your first 30 days, it's only 1 recruit and $1,000 in sales, okay? 1/3 of the work. I'm not a mathematician, I don't think you are either, but would you rather do 1/3 of the work or 3 times the work to earn the same pay grade, right? Okay, so 1 recruit, $1,000 in sales gets you 35%. If you look at 50%, instead of 6 recruits and $6,000, it's cut in half. It's 3 recruits, $3,000, right? If you look at 60%, guys, listen, it's not 10 and 10. What is it? It's 5 and 5. It's half the work, okay? Half the work. Again, you want to do half the work or twice the work. If you do it in the first 30 days, it's half the work. And once you're licensed, you start out at that higher contract. And guys, it is a perpetual contract. What does that mean? It means you do not need to continue to keep up with that production level to keep that contract. You don't lose that contract. That's your contract until you get a higher one. And then that would be your contract, okay? Now, even the upper level promotions, guys, 70%, 80%, even though the production requirements are not reduced, if you look over to the left, you'll see some of the ancillary requirements are eliminated, namely the amount of licensed people you need on your team. This is a big, big deal, guys, because listen, after your license, you might be running some of those production numbers, but your people haven't gotten licensed yet. And so if you don't have both the production and those ancillary requirements, you won't be able to get that promotion. You'll have to wait for both of those to happen. But if you do it your first 30 days, guys, if you do it your first 30 days, okay, we waive the licensed teammate requirement. You can do that completely on your own. You could go all the way up to 80% your first 30 days in the business, okay? Now, I want you to understand something here. I just need you to make sure that you're good and clear, okay? It is unlikely that you're going to be actively licensed by your state in the first 30 days. But we make these promotions and pay grade increases and bonuses available to you in the first 30 days. So I need you to understand how this works. Let's use division leader as example. You go 5 recruits, $5,000 in sales your first 30 days, you get your division leader promotion, okay? Well, it's unlikely that you're licensed in those first 30 days. So we get you 5 recruits, those are your people. We get you 5 clients, those are your clients. okay? But because you're not licensed, you won't be paid a direct commission on those 5,000 in sales. Why? You're not licensed, right? Who gets the direct commissions on those 5,000 in sales? The answer is your trainer. The person that's out training you gets those direct commissions. But we understand you want to be paid for that work in the first 30 days, so we pay you in 3 ways. The first way is as follows. Way 1 is we make it far easier for you to get promoted, right? So after your license starting at 60 instead of starting all the way down at 25, it does not take you very long to make back the little bit of money you would have made down there at 25. At 60%, you're getting paid 2.5 times on every deal forever, right? So you're going to be paid back by that contract increase. The second way we pay you is the bonuses you see over there on the side. Okay, at division leader, your bonus would be $1,000, right? At regional leader, it'd be $2,400. Guys, that bonus is banked for you in your first 30 days as you're doing that production and released to you the day you get licensed and appointed. It's your very first check, right? So we have a little bit of bonus money there to pay you for your time in training that you've done there. The real way we pay you, guys, the real way that we pay you is this. In addition to those sales, right, that you got bonused on, not commissions, but bonused on, we got you in that scenario 5 recruits. Now, what do your 5 recruits need to do in their first 30 days, guys? What do those 5 recruits need to do in their first 30 days to get to division leader? And the answer is the same thing you had to do. Bring in 5 recruits and 5,000 in sales. So you got 5 guys who go bring in 5,000 in sales apiece. That's 25,000 in sales. Your 5 guys aren't licensed in their first 30 days, but you are. So who's getting the direct commissions on those 25,000 in sales? You are. At what contract? At 60 instead of 25. Do you understand why that's good, right? And they're going to do the same thing. When you do this process, it goes fast. You make a lot of money, your people make a lot of money, and you're like, wow, this thing is moving. If you don't follow that process, you start out way down at the bottom. It's twice as much work to get promoted. And your people do the same thing. It goes very slow. Your people don't have a lot of recruiting, a lot of sales going on. It's not that you can't do it. It's just that it's much less efficient, okay? So let's go back up to the after 30 days. So after 30 days, your contract said, I want to make sure you understand how overrides work. Let's pretend you're at 80%. You're a senior regional leader. You do $1,000 sale. Okay, you do $1,000 sale. Your commission on that $1,000 sale would be $800. Okay, $800 in your personal sale. Let's say you had a teammate on your team who was at 50% contract. You're at 80, they're at 50. That teammate goes and makes $1,000 sale. Their commission would be $500 or 50% of that 1,000. Your commission on their sale would be the difference between your contract and their contract. So you're at 80, they're at 50. The difference would be 30. So on your teammate's $1,000 sale, they made the first 50, you made the difference, or the next 30, in that case would be $300. So what did you have to do for that $300? And the answer is not much. You recruited that person, you trained them, but you didn't have to do anything for them to go make that sale, and they sent you a check for $300 because you recruited and trained that person. Now imagine your guy makes 10 sales this month, and your override is $300 a sale. That's $3,000 in income this month that you didn't have to do anything to get. Imagine you had 10 guys doing 10 sales. Guys, that's $30,000 a month in residual income without you having to do anything to go get it. Folks, that's absolutely unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So guys, listen, I want to give you just a couple of more tips. Let me talk to you about technology, okay? For trainings and communication, because this is everything. We need you to get a couple of things. The first thing we need you to get is the Primerica app. Just go to the App Store, sign into the Primerica app. You're going to get $50 just for signing into the app if you do it in the first 24 hours. So if you haven't done it, go on to the Primerica app, download it, sign into it, okay? The second thing we need you to get is an app called Telegram. Telegram is a free app. That is our communication tool. Once you have Telegram, I want you to text the person that brought you on, let them know that you're on Telegram, and they'll invite you to our hierarchy communication chat. Just a couple of rules. Please don't post before 8 a.m. or after 10 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, we don't want to be waking people up. Please don't post anything that's not production related. Okay, so you got a client, you got an agent, somebody passed their test, absolutely fine. Hey, my birthday party's this weekend. Please don't post that. There's literally thousands of people on that. And we all love you, but you may not want all that many people at the birthday party, right? Okay, so we want you to get Telegram. The third thing that we need you to get is Zoom. Zoom, again, is a free app, and that's how you're going to be able to watch Friday Night Live, Sunday Night Skills, and there's a lot of training available. It's also how you're going to be able to run remote client appointments. So we need you to get Zoom. Okay, so what do we need? We need the Primerica app, we need Telegram, we need Zoom. The last thing I want you to do is on Facebook, if you put in your search bar, Best PRI System, Best PRI System. That's a private Facebook group we have. All of our audios and videos for training are stored out there, as well as daily inspiration and motivation to keep you focused and going. Get on that group under the announcements tab. Under the announcements tab, the very first video you see, you just click see more, and you'll see audio and video number 1 through 11. Okay, you'll notice that this is audio number 1. Okay, video number 1. You'll see videos and audios number 1 through 11. That's our entire system, guys. It's our entire system available on demand from the comfort of your house. You could be learning that on a drive to or from work, at the gym. It's absolutely turnkey and unbelievable. Okay, the last thing I want you to do is make your list. We've got a little list here, okay? And we want to make a list of some people that we're going to talk to. Now, we're not going to call those people yet, okay? We're not going to call them yet. We're not going to text them yet. What we are going to do is put them on a list. Okay, so we're going to break people into 2 basic categories. Category 1 would be recruits, people that might be interested in our business. Okay, category 2 we're going to call kitchen tables, or people that might be clients of our business. Now, can people be both? Absolutely. Should they be both? Absolutely. But we're going to approach them as one or the other. We're going to approach them as one or the other. So we have a qualifier. Okay, are they married or divorced? Do they have children? Do they own a home? Have they been at employment for some period of time? Okay, and are they between the ages of 25 and 65 years old? If they check all of those, okay, married, homeowner, age appropriate, has kids, has a job, okay, we call that a 5-pointer. People who represent 4 or 5 of those points, those are going to be kitchen table appointments. We're going to approach them as clients first and offer them the opportunity on the back end. Okay, if they're 1 to 3 of those, so maybe they're missing a few of those, we're going to approach those people as agents first, clients on the back end. They can and will be both, but in our process, we're going to approach one way and approach the other a different way. We're going to get you an audio. Okay, your trainer will get that to you as soon as you're done with the list. They'll get you the audio on appointment setting. How do you set appointments either online or in person to be able to show people what we're doing so that you can recruit and build a team, you can bring on clients, you can help people, and you can start to go after your goals and dreams. Guys, listen, I'm so excited about you choosing to be a part of this great team, about you pursuing your dreams, about you creating a residual income, getting off the hamster wheel in life, getting out of a system that no matter how good you are at it will never win, and beginning to live life on your terms. You are just gonna make such a difference in the lives of the people you help. You're gonna meet so many incredible people. You're just gonna have a blast learning these new skills, building incredible relationships, changing people's lives, okay? And you're gonna be able to make great money and delineate your time from your income and build a pipeline for you and your family. I'm excited to build this with you. We're always available. Thank you so much, and great success to you and your family.